diabetes, which is an autoimmune disease, has risen. Dementia has risen. And dramatically, like diabetes was up something like 20%, which is interesting because if you understand the way the vaccine works, it actually enters inside your cell and then produces the spike protein for export either in the membrane or goes outside it. So that induces your own immune system to attack your own cells to kill that particular. That's how it's programmed to work. Is that you're training your body to produce a toxic protein, and then your own body's immune system has to stop that from happening by attacking your own cells, i.e., an autoimmune response. So, which is now they've got a correlation with an autoimmune disease and diabetes. Yet again, another red flag as to the safety of the vaccine. So. I'm looking, in back to your original question, I'm looking for line items that could be related to the vaccine. Now, I don't know what I'm looking for. I just want to go through every line item that adds up to the 172,000 deaths from last year, which, by the way, was an increase of 8,706 deaths from 2020, despite the fact that there were more lockdowns in 2021 because New South Wales, as you well know, was locked down for 3 months. So if anything, you would have expected deaths last year to be slightly lower than 2020 on the basis that once you're locked down, there's lower deaths from car accidents and things. And what's interesting, and the reason why the 2021 figures are very important is because there wasn't much COVID in the community last year, whereas this year they can conflate COVID with the increase in deaths. And that. Are
you saying that there are people who are trying to attribute it to the virus instead of the vaccine?
Well, yeah, this year they are. Yeah, they're trying to attribute it to long COVID. So right, yep. The beauty, well, it's not the beauty. I shouldn't say that. It's the what's distinctive about 2021 is we only had about 300,000 cases in Australia overall, and a lot of them were in the very last month. So up until late June, I think we had a first couple of COVID cases in New South Wales. If you compare the way deaths increased last year, of that 8,706 increase, it didn't increase at all up until April, and it only jumped, and then for the rest of the year, it jumped by about 1,000 a month over the prior year, and that was immediately after the vaccine rollout. Yeah,
Gerard, what you're doing is incredible work, and these are logical investigations to be making, and you're almost the only person doing it. So full credit for having a crack. Now, just getting back to the vaccine, in another committee hearing you had recently, you asked, this is coming from an entirely different angle, you asked the Australian Communications and Media Authority, or ACMA, why Pfizer was not required to warn people of possible adverse reactions to its vaccine, which it knew about from the start. Now, ACMA referred you to the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission. What happened then?
Well, they then pretty much passed the back straight back to ACMA. But, look, as someone who came from a finance profession, not that I work in selling financial products, but if you have to sell a financial product, you have to outline the risks and the rewards. But that was never the case. Now, there's an exemption, and it shouldn't really be an exemption in my view, for government public health advertising. But as far as I was concerned, Pfizer, doctors, the AMA, the media should not be exempted from public health advertising. So when they were just saying point blank that it was safe and effective, that was a straight out lie. They never did carcinogenic testing. They never did genotoxicity testing. They never did longitudinal testing. They never tested it on immunocompromised patients. They never tested it people taking other vaccines and other drugs, especially anti-immune suppressants. So on the one hand, you're taking a vaccine which is meant to activate your immune system, but some people are on anti-immune or immune suppressants drugs to suppress the immune system. So how does that work when you're on, conflicting drugs at the same time? There's very limited testing in pregnant women. I think they tested it in rats, as if that's some substitute for a pregnant woman. I mean, give me a break.